ages, all genders. Everybody can be affected by an eating disorder. So there's not just one particular type of person or one particular type of presentation or body weight that somebody has to be at in order to have an eating disorder.
And Nicole, you were a patient with the center. Tell us a little bit about your story and how you came to work with them.
Sure. So I grew up in pretty normal childhood. Everything was looking great, but I was also a born perfectionist. So when I went to high school and started struggling in school, I started to become really depressed and I stopped eating. And when I stopped eating, I started to lose weight and getting a lot of compliments. And that turned into an eating disorder that kind of went a little bit out of control. So that was at age 14, and I began to struggle for nearly half of my life, waxing and waning between recovery and struggling. And about 4 years ago, I went to Eating Recovery Center for the third time, because recovery isn't always a straight line. Sometimes you have some ups and downs. And went in full throttle this time and told myself I had to really, really give it a full effort if I wanted to see any progress. And with the help and support of Eating Recovery Center and their professionals believing in me, I was able to kind of get over that hump. So 4 years now, I've been in a pretty strong recovery, and it's been wonderful, but it's also has not been easy, and it's been definitely the hardest thing. But I think the most important thing to remember is that while recovery might not always look perfect and you might take 2 steps back, you can always keep going forward, and that recovery is possible.
We have a lot of parents watching who have kids who are either young or maybe they're preteens, teens. It is a time where people are questioning who they are. Their image is suddenly extremely important. What is your recommendation for spotting some of the warning signs and supporting? And how do you know when it's, okay, they're having some body image issues too, okay, now this is a really serious problem?
Sure. I mean, do you want to?
I think what's really important for families to know is making sure that they're being aware of what's going on with their kids and seeing if there are things that are changing. If you're a family that typically eats together and all of a sudden your daughter doesn't want to come to the table and doesn't want to eat with you, that's a warning sign. If they're spending a lot of time in the bathroom, if they're obsessed with different types of foods, those are all really important warning signs. And I think the most important thing is to say, I care about you, I want to know what's going on, please share. And I think making it a very non-judgmental thing is really important. And then also knowing that there's help out there. You know, you don't have to battle this alone. You don't have to try and figure out how to do this as a family. You can reach out to a place like us at Eating Recovery Center and ask for help. There's free evaluations that are possible. And you can even go online to our website and take a free quiz at eatingrecovery.com.
Nicole, what kind of support helped you and what kind of support didn't when you were going through this?
Well, you know, it's interesting. Growing up, way back when, it was very, very much considered that families should not really be part of the process. And now today, it's very important that family-based treatment is kind of the center for adolescents. So including my family, asking for help, actually admitting that I had a problem and leaning on others was one of the best things that I did. I didn't like it, I didn't enjoy it, and it was by far the last thing I wanted to do, but opening myself up to that support and help from loved ones was definitely what got me over the hump when I had no energy to do it myself.
I really appreciate you stopping by and sharing your story. I think it's so important for people watching. We all probably know someone who is struggling, and to know how we can step in and help, whether it's through a center or through being a friend and a family member, is really important. So thank you to you both.
Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, anytime. We really appreciate it. It's